In the tranquil, yet increasingly cold highlands, life moved with a deliberate rhythm, dictated by duty and the changing seasons. Officer Hung, a man whose quiet demeanor belied a deep sense of responsibility, began his day amidst the daily bustle, his thoughts divided between his official duties and the simple, profound comforts of a borrowed home. Hung greets you all, wishing you a peaceful and happy new day, he might have murmured, a silent invocation for the coming hours. A sudden call from his superior, however, signaled an unexpected shift. "Yes, boss, I hear you," he responded, his voice calm despite the disruption. "An urgent matter? The meeting is cancelled? Oh, so no meeting this morning? Very well. Then I'll head down to the commune headquarters a bit later to notarize some documents for the local people. A cancelled meeting means I can attend to community needs." His professional life was one of service, a stark contrast to the personal turbulence he had navigated. Just yesterday, he'd been at the commune, and today, he found himself drawn back, a sense of purpose guiding his actions. The path to the commune would take him near Lyhoaica's home, the woman who had brought a semblance of peace back into his life. Today, on my way down there, I'll pass near Lyhoaica's house. I wonder if Ha's mother has visited Ha? If not, I'll drop by and look after the house for Lyhoaica. I could stay there all night and return early for work tomorrow. This simple act of consideration spoke volumes about his protective nature, his quiet devotion. He glanced around, expecting a colleague. "Min is taking so long, he's still not here." Moments later, a familiar figure approached. "Comrade, you're here." "Hello, comrade, please have breakfast." "I've already eaten, you go ahead." "Sit here, comrade. Have you been waiting long?" Hung's voice was warm, friendly. "I was just thinking of you, and here you are. You brought the documents I asked for, didn't you? All complete?" Min nodded, presenting a folder. "Yes, comrade, all complete. Please take a look, see if anything is missing so I can supplement it." Hung quickly reviewed them. "Excellent, this is perfect. I'm heading down to the commune later to handle some paperwork. My department, the police, has some urgent business today, which is why the meeting was cancelled. I still have to go down to the commune." Min's tone shifted, a hint of intrigue in his voice. "Is there something mysterious going on with the police, comrade?" Hung demurred, a professional boundary in place. "This is a confidential matter, I'm afraid I can't discuss it." As they spoke, the chill in the air was a tangible presence, a harbinger of the approaching winter. Hung added, "While I'm at the commune, I'll also buy a mattress and a blanket. It gets very cold up here at night." Min agreed, "Indeed, comrade, winter is gradually approaching now. It gets very cold in the evenings. You should prepare some blankets and bedding. The evenings are starting to get chilly." Hung, still new to his posting in this mountainous region, elaborated on his domestic situation. "I just transferred here, so I'm still short on many things. I haven't been able to bring all my blankets and mattresses up yet. I'll take advantage of my trip to the commune later to buy them. There aren't any shops selling these items up here." Min concurred, "That's right, comrade. To buy things like that, you have to go all the way down to the district market." Their conversation drifted to Hung's current abode. "How do you find this house, comrade?" Min asked. Hung's response was immediate and heartfelt. "It's absolutely wonderful, comrade. Thank you for letting me borrow it. It has everything. To have a house built like this in the highlands is truly exceptional." Min, ever modest, replied, "You're too kind. I saved up for several years to build this house." Hung was genuinely impressed. "So you saved up and built this house for yourself?" "Yes, I saved up to build it so that when I start a family, I can move out and live separately, not with my grandparents anymore." For now, since I don't have a wife or children, I still live with them." He nodded approvingly. "That's an excellent plan. It's wonderful that you think about and plan for your future. It will save your wife and children hardship later on." Hung reflected on broader societal struggles. "Yes, I see many people who get married and have children, then struggle financially to build a home. I believe it's better to build a house first. Then, after getting married and having children, one can focus on raising them. A house provides shelter from the rain and sun, you know." He reiterated his gratitude. "Thank you, comrade, for letting me use this wonderful house." Min's response was simple, "No problem, comrade, just make yourself at home." Hung, a man of simple needs, felt truly blessed. Living as a stranger in a foreign land, to have a house like this is truly a blessing. The conversation continued, touching on mutual acquaintances. "Comrade Min, where's the comrade I introduced to work with you?" Min explained, "She's enrolled in an advanced training course. She took a few days off to study." Hung mused, "No wonder I haven't seen her working with you lately. She's focused on her studies to improve her knowledge and skills," Min confirmed. "To help me?" Hung added, a hint of surprise. "She already graduated from university, and now she's pursuing postgraduate studies?" Min simply affirmed. "Yes." With the documents handled and pleasantries exchanged, it was time to part ways. "All right, comrade, please continue with your work. The documents you handed to me are good. I have business at the commune later. We can meet again tomorrow, perhaps?" Min assented. "Yes, I'll head back then," Hung cautioned him. "Drive carefully, comrade." "Goodbye." "Goodbye," Min replied, disappearing down the path. As Hung drove away, his mind was occupied with the quiet hum of his current life, the responsibilities he carried, and the stable future he was meticulously building. He was a man grounded in the present, committed to justice and order, both in his professional life and the small, personal world he was cultivating. But unbeknownst to him, a storm was brewing. A figure from his painful past was making a desperate return, driven by a profound and overwhelming desire to undo a grievous wrong. Far from Hung's world of order and duty, a different kind of struggle was unfolding. Hung's mother, weighed down by years of regret, found herself adrift. Her memories were haunted by the image of her son, a child she had failed, a home she had lost. "I miss my son so much. It's been too long since I've seen him," she whispered to herself, the words heavy with unexpressed longing. "Now, even if I go to see him, I might not catch him. He's always so busy." Her hands, still busy with domestic chores, gathering eggs from the scattered nests of chickens and ducks, trembled slightly. "So many eggs in this nest. This hen is brooding, so I won't collect these. I'll let her hatch them to get more chicks. The chickens are laying eggs everywhere. Here's a duck egg nest, so many. I'll just collect them and leave it up to her to hatch or sell them later. I don't want them to get crushed or broken." The mundane tasks offered little solace. There are so few nests. Some hens are brooding, some are laying, it's ruining all the eggs. I need to make a few more nests for Lyhoaica. These nests are all ruined. The hens aren't even laying in them. I'll get some straw later and fix them. Lyhoaica is too busy to do it. This one is also broken, all ruined. This one still has straw, and a hen is brooding, so I won't change it. Each action was a distraction, a brief respite from the ache in her heart. The truth was, she was on a mission, a desperate endeavor to reclaim her past and, perhaps, her son's forgiveness. The house, their house, was the focal point of her redemption. It was the symbol of what she had lost, and what she hoped to regain. "My old landlord lady agreed to meet today?" she confirmed with a neighbor, her voice tinged with a mix of anxiety and hope. "Yes, she agreed. If they need something, they'll come over. Just wait a bit. We're not in a hurry. But she was in a hurry, a silent, burning urgency propelling her forward. Her first stop was at the house of a young man named Mon, a kind-hearted neighbor. "Is Mon home?" she called out. "Yes, I am, Grandma. Are you busy with something?" Mon responded, surprised by her visit. "Fortunately, you're home. Are you busy?" "I'm in the middle of something, Grandma. What can I do for you?" she explained, her voice pleading. "Today, I have an appointment to buy back the house. Can you come with me, please?" Mon hesitated. "I'm a bit busy now, but I wonder if they'll even be home?" She pressed on. "Please try to help me, dear. Let's go and see if they're home." He reluctantly agreed. "Yes, but have you prepared enough money, Grandma?" Her face fell. "Not yet, dear. Can you help me? Can you lend me some?" Mom's response was honest. "To be frank, Grandma, I do have money, but I'm currently investing in a new project, and I don't want to withdraw it now. Why don't you talk to Hung?" The mention of her son brought a wave of shame. "I haven't bought back the house yet, so I don't dare ask my son. I don't dare face Hung. I have to wait until I've bought back the house, then I'll dare to face my son. I beg you, dear, please help me. Lend me the money so I can buy back the house. Then I'll manage to pay you back as soon as possible." Mon, seeing her desperation, softened. "I pity you, Grandma, but you have to promise to send it back to me as soon as possible, so I can continue with my project." She promised, "Once I've bought back the house and my son and I are reunited, I'll tell my son to send it to you as soon as possible." Yes. A flicker of hope ignited within her, mingled with the practicalities of the transaction. "All right, but I don't have any cash here. All my money is in my account." Mon worried, "I wonder if they accept bank transfers?" The mother, ever hopeful, replied, "The house owners probably have an account. Please try to help me." Mon reiterated his condition. "Yes, but you must remember to arrange to pay me back as soon as possible, so I can continue my business," she reassured him. "Don't worry, dear, I'll manage to pay you back as soon as possible. Trust me." Mon sighed. "I pity you so much, Grandma, that I'm lending you this money. I hope this time, when you return, you won't make the same mistakes as before." She swore, "I promise you, I will change." With a fragile agreement in place, they set off. "All right, Grandma and I will go meet them and see." Upon arrival, the former owners, a calm and composed couple, welcomed them. "Hello, sir and madam," Mon greeted them. "Oh, it's you two. Please, sit down," the woman said, gesturing towards the seats. "Please, madam, have some water," her husband offered. "Thank you," she replied, her voice a little shaky. Mon echoed her gratitude. "Thank you, sir and madam." She continued, "As I met you last week, I set an appointment for today, a week later. I thank you, sir and madam, for taking the time to be home and meet me today. What have you decided, sir and madam? Please let me know." The husband spoke. "Sister, my wife has already discussed this with me. I understand, and we agree to sell." A wave of relief washed over Hung's mother. "Then I thank you, sir and madam." The wife added, "We are very flexible, sister." "That's wonderful then, sir. Fortunately, you both agreed to let me buy back the house. I'd like to ask you honestly, sir and madam, what is the price of the house now? Please let me know so I can send you the money." The husband explained the situation. "As we discussed last week, I bought it for 700 million BND. Over the past few months, land prices have increased, and if I were to put it up for sale, people would offer even more. However, I empathize with your situation, sister. So, I will let you buy it back for 800 million VND. Do you agree? A sudden gasp escaped Hung's mother. Mon, I only have 600 million VND, dear. Do you have the other 200 million VND? Mon confirmed, yes, Grandma, I do, but I only have it in my account. He then addressed the couple, ma'am, Grandma and I have 600 million VND in cash. Can I transfer the rest? The wife nodded reassuringly, account money or cash, either is fine, dear. Then she laid out their condition. However, ma'am, I have one condition. If you buy back the house, we will need to find a new place to live. So, our family would like about a month to arrange things before handing over the house. Is that acceptable? Hung's mother turned to Mon, her expression pleading. What do you think, dear? I'll accept it. This house has been with me for so many years. I'll try to wait for them. Mon nodded, yes. If you agree, we can proceed with the paperwork and hand over the red book to you. The husband went to retrieve the documents. Please, sister and dear, have some water. Hung's mother's voice trembled with emotion. This is such good fortune. Thank you, sir and madam, for making it possible for my son and me to reunite. She then turned to Mon. I also thank you, dear. Without you, I wouldn't know where to borrow money to get back my family's old house. I truly thank you. Mon responded with characteristic humility. It's nothing, Grandma. I help where I can. I also congratulate you, Grandma, on getting back the house. I wish you and Hung a swift reunion. She acknowledged, it's all thanks to your help, dear. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to buy it back. The husband returned with the red book. Here are the documents, dear. This is the red book. Do you need a handwritten deed as well? She insisted, yes, ma'am. Everything must be certain. The husband agreed, very well, then I will write a handwritten deed for you. As he prepared it, Hung's mother cradled the red book, her eyes moist. This is wonderful, dear. It's been so long since I've held a document that confirms my rightful ownership of the land. It's in my name, the rightful owner. Mon offered a gentle warning, congratulations, Grandma. But remember, this time, when you return, don't make the same mistakes as before. She acknowledged, thank you, dear. It's because of you creating this opportunity that I got this book back. What good fortune. Mon smiled, it's nothing, Grandma. I just hope you and Hung can go back to how you were before. Thank you, she replied. The husband finished the deed. It's done, sister. Please check if you need anything else added. This is perfect, sir. This is more than enough, she confirmed. Just this is fine. All parties signed the document. Here, you sign on this side, and below it, sister, you sign here. She signed, her hand steady now. I thank you, sir and madam. The transaction was complete. It's all done, sir, she said. The wife then reiterated their request. Please, sister, allow my husband and me a month to arrange things, pack up, and move to another place. Thank you, sir and madam, Hung's mother replied, then handed over the cash. Here are 600 million VND in cash. Please count it. The wife confirmed, yes, it's all here, sister. Mon then stepped forward. And the remaining 200 million VND, which Grandma borrowed from me, I will transfer to your account, sir and madam. Yes, ma'am. Can you please give me your QR code so I can scan and transfer? He completed the transfer. I've transferred 200 million VND to your account, ma'am. The wife checked her phone. I've received it, dear. Hung's mother expressed her gratitude once more. Thank you, sir and madam. I hope you can arrange to pack your belongings so I can return to this house as soon as possible. The wife nodded. Yes, sister. Please allow my husband and me a month to prepare. I also want it to be as quick as possible, sister. Hung's mother, her heart soaring, added, yes, if it could be faster, that would be even better, sir and madam. Can I please have a copy of the document to take with me? I thank you, sir and madam. As the evening drew to a close, she bid them farewell. It's getting late now. Goodbye, sir and madam. We will meet again in a month. Goodbye, sir and madam. The former owners watched her leave, a pang of mixed emotions. It's a pity to let go of this house. I didn't want to sell it back at all. But I felt for her situation. She kept asking to buy it back to reunite with her son. What else could I do? I felt for her, so I made this charitable gesture for her. I hope she and her son can reunite happily. Outside, under the fading light, Mon congratulated Hung's mother. Finally, everything went smoothly, Grandma. She looked at him, her eyes shining with tears of relief. Thank you, dear. If you hadn't helped me, I probably wouldn't have been able to buy back my family's old house. Mon, ever modest, replied, it's nothing, Grandma. I'm happy for you. She repeated, thank you. Please forgive me for any trouble. He gently reminded her, it's nothing, Grandma. But please try to arrange to pay me back soon, dear. I still have a project to invest in. She promised, I will arrange it as soon as possible. Thank you, dear. I'm going home now. Mon asked, you're going home right away, Grandma? If you're free, please come in and have a visit. She declined. No, I'm going home now. He then suggested, please quickly deliver the good news to Hung, so he'll be happy. She agreed, that's right, I must go and tell my son the news right away. Mon then considered the timing, but today isn't the weekend, so he's probably still at work. She was determined. Whether it's the weekend or not, I have to go. Even if I don't meet my son, I'll pass the news through Lyhoaica so she can relay it to him. Yes. Thank you, dear. I'm leaving now. Yes, Grandma, please go. With a heart full of hope and a newly signed deed in hand, Hung's mother embarked on the next, most daunting phase of her quest, reconciliation. The house was hers again, but the hardest part, winning back her son's trust and love, lay ahead. The weight of the past often shadows the brightest of intentions. Hung's mother, clutching the documents that declared her rightful ownership, now sought to mend the rift with her son, Hung. Her next stop was Lyhoaica's house, a place where she hoped to find an open heart, or at least a messenger for her joyous news. Goodness, how fortunate to meet the old woman here, she exclaimed, seeing a neighbor. Is Lyhoaica and my son here, old woman? The old woman shook her head. No, ma'am. He's not back yet. Lyhoaica and my son are not back yet? No, ma'am, the neighbor confirmed, adding, Lyhoaica isn't back either. With a gesture of hospitality, the old woman offered, please, come in, ma'am. Hung's mother, eager to share, entered. No, ma'am, you're busy, please continue. I'll just gather some firewood. I'm idle at home and have nothing to do, so I'll collect some firewood for Lyhoaica. The old woman insisted, please, come inside, ma'am. Sit down and wait for me for a bit. Please, ma'am, have some water. After settling in, the old woman inquired, what brings you here, ma'am? Hung's mother, her voice brimming with excitement, revealed her purpose. I have good news, and I wanted to tell my son and Lyhoaica. The old woman sighed. You won't find them here, ma'am. Because Hung has to be away on business in the middle of the week, and Lyhoaica is taking Tony to school. Neither of them is back yet. Hung's mother's face fell slightly, but her resolve remained. I know my son doesn't get days off during the week, but I hope to find him in Lyhoaica here to tell them the good news." The old woman concluded, "You won't meet them today. Boo. T, what good news makes you so happy?" Then, the confession poured out, a torrent of relief and hope. "Today, they allowed me to buy back the house. I've gotten back the house. Today, I've gotten back my certificate of ownership. I don't have to depend on others anymore. I want to bring this good news to my son." The old woman, understanding the gravity of her statement, congratulated her. "I congratulate you, ma'am, on buying back the house." Hung's mother beamed. "I'm so excited, ma'am. Today, I've accomplished something big. I'm so thrilled." The old woman offered another congratulation. "I also congratulate you again. Looking at the book, it truly is in your name as the head of the household." Hung's mother affirmed, "From the moment my husband passed away, it was in my name, the rightful owner. It's fortunate that you met kind people." The couple was very kind, ma'am, she agreed. "And I also received help from young Mon, the neighbor right next door. He's a very good boy. I didn't have enough money, you know." The old woman looked surprised. "So, where did you get such a large sum of money to buy it back?" Hung's mother explained, "I only had 600 million BND. I relied on young Mon, and he lent me an additional 200 million BND. Today, I own the house again. However, for now, they can't move their belongings out immediately. They said they needed another month." "That couple is kind, so perhaps in 10 days or half a month, I'll be able to move back in." The old woman nodded knowingly. "Yes, since you bought it back suddenly like that, they need time to move out. Now that you've bought back the house, you should tell your son the truth." The mother's expression turned solemn. "Yes, I intend to," she continued. "Several times, I told you not to tell my son, but now that I've gotten back the house, I definitely have to tell him the truth." The old woman confirmed, "Since you told me that, I didn't dare say anything. I haven't said anything yet. He came back twice, but I didn't dare say anything. I want to tell my son the truth. Before, when I met him, I was a bit hesitant because I had committed many wrongdoings. Now, I want to correct my mistakes and ask my son to forgive his mother. Now that I know I was wrong, I want to go back and talk to my son, ask for his forgiveness." The old woman offered a hopeful perspective. "I think you'll have a lot of good luck." "I hope so, ma'am," Hung's mother said. "You won't meet him coming here now. If you want to meet your son, it has to be on the weekend. Now, he's away on business. Lyhoaica is taking care of Tony at the hospital, they're far apart. They must miss each other. They'll probably be back this weekend." Hung's mother added, "Yesterday, I called Lyhoaica, and Lyhoaica said that Tony is getting used to class now. The teacher said they gradually need to be separated from family. Otherwise, if his mother or relatives keep coming, Tony won't settle down, won't learn to speak, and will be difficult. So, for a while longer, Tony will study there with the teacher, and Lyhoaica will come back here." Then, a sudden thought struck her. "And please keep this good news a secret from me, ma'am. Don't tell my son. I want to surprise him. Yes, I want to surprise him so he'll be happy. I also hope my son will forgive me and accept the truth." The old woman inquired, "Do you lodge nearby, ma'am? So when they come back this weekend, I can inform you." Hung's mother replied, "I lodge about 3 kilometers from here, ma'am. Do you have a phone? Give me your number, and when they come back, I'll call you." Hung's mother, however, did not have a phone. "I only have my landlord's phone number, ma'am. I don't have my own phone." The old woman suggested, "Then I'll tell your landlord to contact you." "You should buy a phone, ma'am, it's more convenient to communicate." Hung's mother sadly explained, "All my money went into paying off my debt. The old woman, feeling for her, offered, "Since you're lodging anyway, why don't you stay here and eat with me? I'm lonely at home by myself." Hung's mother declined gently. "No, ma'am, for now, I haven't received my children's forgiveness, so I don't dare stay with you." The old woman tried to reassure her. "Don't worry. Who knows, perhaps in the future, you and I will be family. I hope you will forgive me," Hung's mother mused, "because my rice fields and gardens are still intact. I only mortgaged the house. Surely, now that I've bought back the house, he will forgive me." The old woman expressed her own hopes. "I also hope that soon, you and I will become closer because my son and your daughter are in a relationship, which will bring us closer. When there's an opportunity, we can sit and confide in each other later, ma'am. For now, I'm still a bit hesitant, so please understand." The old woman insisted, "Just stay here and eat with me, it'll be more cheerful." But Hung's mother was firm. "No, ma'am. I beg your leave, I'm going home now. It's time for me to go home now." The old woman, understanding, said, "All right, if you decide not to stay, then goodbye, ma'am." "Goodbye." "Yes, ma'am, you drive carefully," the old woman called out. "Yes, thank you, ma'am. I'm going home now." The old woman reflected, "Goodness, how wonderful that she bought back the house so Hung will have a place to live. Otherwise, constantly moving around is not good, it's so hard." I hope this time, she realizes her remorse and her mistakes. Later that day, as the afternoon shadows lengthened, Hung, having completed his tasks at the commune, made an unexpected detour. "Goodness, luckily Ha's mother is still home today. Didn't she go to visit Ha?" he called out, approaching the old woman's house. "Who is it?" she replied. "It's me, your grandson." "Oh, it's you? Why are you back?" Hung explained. "I went down to the commune to do some paperwork. And since it was on the way, I stopped by here. This morning, my office had some business, so we couldn't work. I took advantage of the time to go down to the commune to do some paperwork." "So, you haven't visited Ha today?" "Not yet, dear," she said. "Ha said she's very busy lately, and that I should wait a bit to visit her. I miss her so much." Hung understood. Yes, she's probably too busy to meet. It's the end of the year now. For construction, they've finished all the rough work, and now it's the finishing touches, the painting, which is the last part. By the end of the year, they're taking over houses to move into new ones, so the painting profession is usually very busy at the end of the year. The construction teams are gradually winding down. Ha also told me that, but I miss her so much, I can't even sleep at night, she sighed. Hung offered comfort. "Just sympathize with your daughter, ma'am. It's for the future of you two. She's trying hard, so please understand." "I hope so," she replied. "Many times, when I think of my daughter, if she can try, then I also have to try." The old woman inquired, "You were here just a few days ago. Why didn't you just finish your work here and then go up, so you wouldn't have to come back and be so tired?" Hung explained, "I understand that, but that day, I didn't have the documents here. I had to go back to the office to get them. Only today could I come down to do the work. And it's starting to get cold now. Sleeping up in the mountains at night is very cold. I need blankets and mattresses. So, now that I'm down here, after work, I'll buy blankets and mattresses so I can sleep warmly tonight. The wind is cold at night up there. It's desolate in the mountains, even colder than down here. Since I have a day off from work, I'll come down here and buy everything." Then, the old woman paused, a secret weighing on her conscience. "Hung, I have something. I don't know if I should tell you." Hung sensed the shift in her demeanor. "What's so mysterious, ma'am?" She hesitated, then spoke, "To be honest with you, your mother was just here looking for you." The words hit Hung like a sudden chill. My mother? Why would my mother come here? She's not even here anymore, is she? Where has she been all this time? Why would she be here? Surely you're mistaken. My mother isn't here, is she? The old woman insisted. She's been here several times. She's also talked to me, so I'm 100% sure it's your mother. Hung's mind raced. Why would my mother appear here? I thought she went somewhere far away. I lost contact with her since she left home. I wonder what happened to her, or if she went somewhere else. Why would she come back here? I'm very curious. This can't be true. I don't quite believe it. The old woman tried to convince him. It's true, dear. It really is your mother. She came here and confided in me. I know it, but she told me not to tell you. That's why I didn't dare say anything the previous times. But this time, I felt guilty, so I'm telling you. She confided in me that she left months ago and only just returned. She just came in here. Hung questioned, "Then why didn't I see her?" The old woman replied, "If you had come back a little faster, you would have met her." She told me she lodges a few kilometers from here. She went out that way, and you came in this way, so you didn't meet her. I wonder why mother is back? Is it for good or for bad? This makes me feel so conflicted. The old woman, trying to soothe his apprehension, continued, "Don't worry, dear. She came here earlier and told me everything. She also regrets her mistakes. Now, she's bought back the house for you. She even brought the red book here to show me, and it's in her name." Hung's eyes widened in disbelief. What? So my mother is back and has bought back the old house that belonged to my mother and me? The old woman nodded. She bought it back. She said she hasn't sold or mortgaged any of the rice fields or gardens. She hopes you will forgive her. Hung's mind processed this new, unsettling information. As far as I know, my mother hasn't sold any rice fields or gardens, only mortgaged the house. I wonder what my mother's intentions are this time? Is it for bad or for good? The old woman reaffirmed, "I saw her talking to me, and she was very regretful. Now, she wants to meet her son, but she's afraid you won't forgive her. That's why she hasn't dared to meet you yet. She even said that last time she came here, she saw you, but she didn't dare show herself." She hid outside. A deep furrow appeared on Hung's brow. "She's been here before and avoided me several times? I'm just worried that my mother returning will do something bad again. And I'm only worried that Lyhoaica will encounter something. I'm not clear about it yet, but I hope that by buying back the house like that, she also knows to repent and be remorseful," as she said. "I wonder where she lodges?" She said it was 2 or 3 kilometers from here, right? Next weekend, when I come back, I will investigate where she is currently and what her situation is. I will investigate thoroughly. The old woman confirmed. I also made an appointment with her that if she wants to meet Lyhoaica and you, it has to be on the weekend. So, when you and Lyhoaica come back, she'll probably come again this weekend. Hung's voice hardened, betraying the deep wound she had inflicted. I don't know if I can trust her, but I saw her being very remorseful. Because of how she treated me, I will not forgive her. I absolutely will not forgive her because she caused me too much pain, both physically and mentally. I truly cannot overlook it. Whatever happens, I will still protect Lyhoaica and will not accept her. I will investigate and see what happens. If anything happens, I will deal with it later. As for meeting her, I don't want to meet her again. I don't want to meet her even once. That's my intention. I will investigate and see what happens. As long as Lyhoaica is safe and she doesn't do anything bad, that's all I want. I will definitely not meet her. I will not forgive her. I'm just afraid she'll do something bad to Lyhoaica. Even if I have to suffer now, live in hardship now, without a house or shelter, my happiness is being with Lyhoaica. I'm very happy with that. As long as we are together, we don't need a big house or anything like that. As long as we are happy. The old woman, seeing his raw pain, tried to interject a note of caution and compassion. Just calm down, dear. Now, about your family's matter, I shouldn't delve too deeply, but if anything happens, you should forgive your mother. Now she knows her mistakes, and she's also old. If she made mistakes and now her son doesn't accept her, she'll be very sad. I don't think she'll dare to do anything to Lyhoaica. Now that she knows her mistakes, she won't dare to do what she did before. Hung remained resolute. Please, let me consider and investigate my mother's situation first, and then I will deal with it later. That's all, ma'am. I just stopped by to visit you for a bit. I thought you went to visit your daughter, so I stopped by to see. If you were away, I would have stayed to look after Lyhoaica's house for a night and then left early the next morning. But since you're home, I'll excuse myself and go back to the office now. The old woman offered, "Stay here, I'll cook dinner, and then you can go." Hung declined, "No, I have to go early. I also have to rush to the market to buy a mattress and a blanket. Otherwise, it will be too late. It's a long way home now. If my mother comes looking for me again next time, please don't say anything about me." The old woman nodded. "All right, you drive carefully." "Yes, I'm going now." As Hung rode away, the wind picked up, carrying with it a profound sense of foreboding. The familiar comfort of the borrowed house, the stability he had meticulously built, now felt fragile. Life was peaceful, so why did Mother appear? Why didn't she just stay away? After causing so much pain to others, why appear again now? The questions echoed in his mind, unanswered, leaving him with a heavy heart and a grim determination to protect the life he had fought so hard to create. The promise of reconciliation hung in the balance, a fragile thread stretched taut across years of pain and distrust, undefined.
Hey, you're a friendly little guy, aren't you?
Where did he go?
Don't worry, he'll be back. I'm sorry. I won't do that again. I'm sorry, I was wrong. It's not about being right or wrong. It's about what you do next.
I've already lost my mother. I can't lose you too.
I've already done everything I can to help you. I have nothing left to give.
I've loved you for a long time.
I think we can go with this one. I think we can go with this one. Yeah, I think this is a good choice.
电视是 upsell. I just think that's super interesting, you know?
I
guess that is what I am. Then that is what you are.
So that means it is a big part of everything.
Yes.
I also feel that the brand itself is quite consistent.
I understand what you're saying, but I don't think it's that simple. I try to always be prepared for anything. It's good to be prepared. I'm sorry. I was wrong about you. The problem is that there is only one of me and a million of them. I just wanted to ask you, what do you think is the best thing about being a man? I always try to do my best. And that's all that matters. I told you not to worry.
But nghĩ rằng but he's my brother.
Did you know that there's a new law about to be passed? Yeah, I heard about it, but I don't really care.
I think the client's going to be very happy with this.
I hope so. This project has taken a long time. I told them that the car was a rental.
And what happened after that?
I told you not to worry. I told you not to worry. I know, but I can't help it.
I knew it. He's been hiding in this village all this time.
This is really good. I'm glad I found this place.
I still think it's a bit too bland.
Lyhoaica.
I've always been one to enjoy the simple things in life.
I've always been one to observe, to listen more than I speak. It's in the quiet moments that you truly understand.
I think the most important thing is to always stay true to yourself.
I thought about what you said. I think you're right.
I think the most important thing is anh dùng việc làm thành mình. Yeah.
Hello, is this the emergency line? I need to report a break-in. Hello? I've been waiting for your call. Hello? Who is this calling me at this hour?
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. I'm calling about the apartment for rent. Is it still available?
Hello. I need to speak with customer service, please.
I'm sorry to say this, but your actions have led to a catastrophe.
I wanted to go to Saigon, but my mother didn't allow me.
I'll get some pepper from the shelf and get to cooking this.
I'm sorry to interrupt,